Good morning, everyone. Today on the show, it's a special day. It's a momentous day. It's an anniversary. Did you know? We'll talk all about that. Plus, today I'll be debuting what we'll be doing for DSP Tries It later on in the week when we hit 90 goals of support. That'll be pretty exciting. And we got to talk, yes, once again, about tech issues. I think I figured some of it out, but I feel like having a public discussion about it, what's been going on recently, will help. So this should be a variety show, and hopefully some good will come of it. Coming live from Renton, Washington, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Level 1 Podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content, because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo!
Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today is Monday, the 27th of January, 2025, as we are very closely approaching the end of the month. What a month it's been. Although, doesn't it seem like January lasted a really long time this year? Usually, I feel like January is a lot faster moving, but I feel like this year it just took forever to get through. And I don't know if that's just me or you guys too. Maybe it's because there's a lot going on in the world right now. Maybe it's because for me, this is a big transition month, heading into a new year with new tech and all this stuff that I've been tackling and doing. I'm not sure, but it just seems like January's been a really long one. Like, I feel like this backdrop has been here for a while and whatever. And I'm like, do we change it yet? Well, I am. Finally, next week I'll be changing it. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I hope that you're all doing well. Welcome to the show. Today is a full double stream day for me, meaning it'll be 2 gameplay streams here on DSP Gaming and DSP Gaming Real, respectively, depending on where you're watching. And today should be fun because we're getting back to some stuff that people really like in the rotation, notably Dark Souls with mods on the first stream, and then the return of Black Ops 6 being played on the late stream on keyboard and mouse with surround sound and all of that. And I've been doing really well playing like that, and I'm looking forward to more. So, yeah. Good stuff coming, and I hope that you guys are excited. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this special anniversary show spectacular. And you might be saying, what anniversary? Ladies and gentlemen, how could you not know? You don't remember? Let's think about this, okay, folks? About, let's say maybe a year ago, a certain momentous thing happened here with my content. What could it be? I wonder what it was that got everyone up in a tizzy. I wonder what it was that got everyone so excited and worked up. Woo! That's right. It was 1 year ago when I took this spoon and I mailed it to all of my detractors. 1 year ago, this spoon was sent special delivery, express 2-day overnight shipping to all of the trolls and the mentally deficient stunted mouth droolers. And I told them exactly what they could do with it. They could use it to eat delicious frozen yogurt. And hopefully they have, because, frozen yogurt's quite healthy for you. And it's weird because frozen yogurt used to be like prominent in like the 90s and 2000s. Like, it was a big thing. It was like, oh, it's supposed to replace ice cream. And it was very, very popular. You could go to like TCBY, the country's best yogurt. There was another one too. And they were all over the place. And it was absolutely delicious. But now you don't see it anymore. Like, I don't even know if you could go somewhere and just get frozen yogurt. I haven't seen it in so long. So anyway, that being said, it's a year of delicious frozen yogurt, and I hope that all of you have enjoyed it, and thank you for watching my content in the last year. Let's just be honest. The last year has been an incredibly weird year, right? It all started with this, And then it turned into a movement. People who actually wanted to give me a shot and check out my content and support me in droves. And, not to be honest, a lot of that attention fell off. And I think the reason being is because I decided to not go the route of drama. That if I had gone the route of drama, I'd probably still have the increased, number of viewers that I had for a couple of those months there. Um, but listen, I'm appreciative for what I've got. The new year has had a great start so far. Like, no exaggeration, this year has been a really strong start. As you can see, things have improved and changed for the better. Despite the tech issues that we're having, which we're going to talk about and try to get to the bottom of, it's still been great. And I just want to say thank you all for the outstanding last year that I have had. And let's keep it rolling, right? And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Jasper Kitty is here this morning, as you can see. Hello, Jasper. How are you this morning, buddy? Jasper Kitty. You almost meowed. Almost. He opened his mouth, but no noise came out. It was a silent meow. I looked at the wrong camera. It was a silent meow. He didn't do a full meow. How are you today, buddy? He'll be prowling around. You see his tail. He'll be prowling around the office. Also, I've got merino wool socks on today. Can you see? Merino wool. Oh, he just laid down on the floor. That's cute. He just went bloop on the floor, stretched his legs out. So I got nice merino wool socks on today. They are extra comfy. I would say out of all the socks I have, these are the comfiest, and they're meant to be soft and warm, but they don't really wick moisture that well. The bamboo socks that I have actually wick moisture very, very well, meaning my feet feel very sleek and smooth all day in the sock. These are more for comfort and warmth, like I said. And it is a cooler day, although the sun is fully out today, so it might be a warmer day during this afternoon. I guess we'll have to see. So yeah, good stuff all around. Jasper's in good spirits. He's with us today. And I'm ready for a fun show here with you all. I guess what we should do, because we have a few topics to talk about today. Okay, first of all, I'm going to show you the box of treats that we're going to be taste testing later in the week when we hit 90 goals hit. And this was your idea, by the way, that you guys said you didn't want fast food again for DSP Tries, that you wanted something different. And we were brainstorming different ideas. And one of the ideas was to order like expensive food off of a website. And I actually have an update on that. And then another idea was soap, but we didn't do that one because I found out it was for a really stupid meme and people wouldn't support it. But one of the things that people said is try some of these variety boxes, these snack boxes. And instead of eating fast food, try a variety of things. We pick out certain things that look good and taste test them and tell us what you think. I said, okay. And I went on Amazon last night and I found a few different things, a few different kinds of boxes. So we'll talk about that on the show today. And I'll show off what I got. It came already. So that's coming up. But we also got tech issues to talk about. And at this point, I don't really know what other help I could really get for myself. Like, I've searched the internet, I've looked for solutions. I don't think there are any. Sadly, I think I'm in a unique situation. I'd like to discuss that situation with all of you. Maybe some of you have more experience than me and can help me out with this situation, whether it's someone live on stream or someone in the comments of the video after the fact. These tech issues at this point are really starting to get to me. Like, it's one thing if every once in a while something silly goes wrong, okay? But at this point, it's like consistent issues. It's like the wireless keeps disconnecting, and then the camera turns off, and then something else isn't functioning properly. And it's driving me nuts, all right? It really is. Like, I had this setup going first week of December. That's when I migrated my old 10-year-old PC over to the new capture and streaming PC. And listen, I was expecting there was going to be some learning curve and some bumps in the road trying to get used to the new equipment and everything. But at this point, as you can see, I've got everything I want. I've got a high-end microphone with an awesome arm, boom mic arm that allows me to adjust it on the fly for different scenarios. I've got awesome keyboard and mouse with RGBs and the lowest, wireless latency possible for a wireless keyboard and mouse. I've got an awesome stream deck that's working beautifully so I can transition between different scenes. I've got 2 webcams set up so I can have 2 kinds of shots now during the show and I can transition between them, which is amazing. I never thought I'd even have that. I got a lot going on, right? I do. I've got a lot going on. And I'm disappointed that here we are 2 months into the upgrade, right? 2 months. And we're still not done with issues. I've had enough. You get to your wit's end, and I just want this now for the rest of 2025. I literally just want to cruise through this year and enjoy the tech now that I purchased and set up with all the new games coming out, because there's going to be a lot of new games coming out starting next month. There's some big ones, correct? And now that we saw that Xbox Direct, there's going to be at least 4 more in there. I'm excited. For example, let me open up my list here because we had that list. Oh, actually, it was over here, the list, right? It wasn't, it was over here. I put it onto this PC. It is game release schedule 2025. So we've got the Monster Hunter Wilds demo that I want to try on February 8th. I'm very excited to try that to see if it's any good. Civ 7 on February 11th, which I'm on the fence about. We could play it. I've never played a Civ game before, and I don't know how it would work. Avowed on February 18th, which I'm absolutely playing. Lost Records, which I believe is the other game from the makers of Life is Strange. It's a brand new game, correct? I think that's what that is. Also on February 18th. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii on February 21st. And then Monster Hunter Wilds actually comes out on February 28th. Split Fiction, maybe Split Fiction is it then? There's Lost Records and there's Split Fiction, and I'm getting those games confused in my head. One of them is another game from Don't Nod, and another one is a different kind of game, but both seem interesting. The Suikoden Collection coming out in early March, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Atomfall, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, and then we have all those games that are now coming out from the Xbox Direct, right? So let me get those. Xbox Direct 2025 new release dates. So we had Doom: The Dark Ages, which is May, correct? May 15th. I'm going to add these right now because I want to get these in there. Okay. So we got Doom: The Dark Ages. There was Ninja Gaiden 4, correct? I think that's just fall. Release window. So that's fall. We've got, what were the other two? South of Midnight, correct? That is April 8th. Okay, and then what was the last one? There was one more, was there not? Wasn't there 4 games? I feel like there was one more. Key announcements. Doom: The Dark Ages. Oh, Expedition. Oh, that's right. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. That's April 24th. Let me get that on there. Okay, cool. I knew there was something I was missing. Which one day? April 24th. Okay. So, we've got, right now, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Okay. Is that true? The Fatal Fury open beta is the 20th of February. Thank you, Super Bonchan. I did not know that. I got that on there too. Okay. So, here we go. So we've got Monster Hunter Wilds demo February 8th, Civilization 7 on February 11th, Avowed on February 18th, whichever Lost Records is. I think Lost Records is the new game from Don't Nod on February 18th. Fatal Fury open beta on February 20th. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii February 21st. Monster Hunter Wilds February 28th. Split Fiction March 6th. And I'm being told by Lady Charisma, Split Fiction is the new game from Hazelight, the makers of It Takes Two. Got it. I was getting the two confused. Thank you for that. Suikoden 1 and 2 Collection March 6th. Assassin's Creed Shadows March 20th. Atomfall March 27th. South of Midnight April 8th. Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, April 21st. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, April 24th. Doom: The Dark Ages, May 15th. And Ninja Gaiden 4, Fall 2025. Of course, keep in mind, there's the big Nintendo Switch 2 Direct Now, when is that? Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, because they're going to give you the information. Direct date. 2nd of April. Okay. So on April 2nd, let's put that in there too, because let's be honest, that's something we're all interested in, right? The Switch 2 Direct, April 2nd. And I get the feeling on April 2nd, we're going to get the definitive information about the release of the Switch 2, including pricing, game lineup, etc. Okay? How to pre-order and all of that. So with all of those games, basically, once we hit around mid-February, we're in our stride. We're going to be playing good new games, and that's what I mean with this setup. I want this setup working like clockwork. I want to be on stream on time. I want high-end graphics, beautiful 60 frames on every game I play. You know, sometimes I'll be playing in 4K, sometimes 1080p if I want the 120 hertz, depending on the game. I get the feeling a lot of these games I will be playing in 4K, and you guys will be seeing 1440p. I want to be able to do awesome stuff like adjust on the fly if I'm playing on PC or if I've decided to play over here on console, you know, style with the gamepad. I want to be able to switch between camera angles for silly shots and stuff. I want to be able to seamlessly go between these kind of shots, you know, on the fly, utilizing the Stream Deck to its fullest. All right. At the same time of all of that, I want to be able to do other content. Like I'm doing Smart Guys right now, my wrestling commentary show once a week. So far, the start has been good. I want to get that show polished, meaning no tech issues with the microphones and no fuck ups and issues like that, you know, I've been doing. So basically, I think at this point, all right, we are lined up for success. We just have to get to the point now where there's a lot of new things coming out, okay? And that we can tackle them and play them. Because it's funny. By the way, what's up, everyone? I see a lot of people in chat. What's going on to everyone? Like Jade and Game Boy and Lucky Gremlin. How you doing? NMix, how you doing? Ellipsian, what's up? Over on Kick, Super Bonchan, what's going on, man? How's everyone this morning? I hope you're all doing well. Carlos, what's up? So yeah, I want to get everything smooth. I want to get everything going well. I want to be able to play all the hot new stuff. So here's the thing. Someone actually messaged me something, and I personally thought it was pretty funny because once again, you know, I don't know what's going on in the realm of my naysayers and detractors, but now the new thing is, did you know that Phil has had the slowest months ever in his entire history? Right now, it's his slowest months ever, which is false. Okay? That's completely false, what they're saying. Here's the truth, okay? Previous, when I was an up-and-comer on YouTube, I had a channel called Darkside Phil, all right? That was in operation for about 2.5 years. Then I started on this channel in 2010, around April of 2010, and this has been my main channel for gameplay ever since, DSPGaming, that is. When I started the channel in 2010, I was super popular. So, like, I was one of the top gaming YouTubers, and I was getting tons of views on everything that I did, okay? So, if you compare the old days to today, yes, of course, I was getting way more views back then. I wasn't even a live streamer back then. I was only making on-demand videos. I was making 10-minute long on-demand videos, so my views were sky high. If you wanted to watch an hour of gameplay, you had to watch 6 videos and give me 6 views. Today, I get 1 view for that hour. I'm not a views-based business. I never have been since the ad apocalypse happened and everything stopped being based on ad revenue. I don't care about views. It doesn't matter to me. You understand? What matters to me is, are people actually showing up and engaging with my content and supporting it? And the answer is yes. To give you some perspective, in the last 6 months, I've been making way more via your support than I've been making in the last like 5 years. And that's not an exaggeration. That's fact. I'm actually doing way better financially because of you than I have done in over 5 years. That's why I was able to afford all of the upgrades and everything in the office, right? And the other thing you have to understand is that I'm not only putting all my content into one channel anymore. It used to be everything I do was on DSP Gaming. Literally every piece of content, whether it was a vlog, whether it was a taste test, whether it was a review, whether it was a gameplay video, you know, whatever it was all on DSP Gaming. Now I want you to think about my content today, okay? I stream, but not even all on DSP Gaming. I have one YouTube stream on DSP Gaming and another YouTube stream taking place over on Kick. So already that has dramatically reduced the amount of views because you may think, oh, it's not that big of a deal. No, actually it is. To give you some perspective, right now on any given stream, I probably have on average around 300 or so viewers, and it can go up if it's a more popular game and down if it's a less popular game. That's on YouTube. On Kick, I get maybe 40, 50 viewers a stream, but that adds up to aggregate views. And that 40, 50 viewers watching on Kick would have normally been on YouTube, and I'm not getting those views anymore on YouTube, so it skews the amount of views that I'm getting. Do you see? The YouTube views are down, but overall, Kick views are also views that count, but they're not being factored in when people are saying, oh, he has low YouTube views. In addition, I'm not just doing content on DSP Gaming. I'm doing the DSP Tries It series, and that's uploaded exclusively over to my DSP Reacts channel, correct? I'm also doing the Smart Guys show, and that's exclusively streamed and archived on the DSP Reacts channel. So that's not being factored in. And in addition to that, I've got an entirely third channel called DSP Throwback. Now, does that channel bring in tons of views and attention? No, but it's work, and it's work I'm doing, and that's on a third channel. So it's funny when you listen to an idiot, a simpleton, who thinks that they can easily present an argument with matter-of-fact knowledge when none of the knowledge is actually factual, okay? Is it true that DSP Gaming has been down in views the last couple of months? Yes, and here's why. Number one, there's no hot new games. Can you tell me what's the latest hot new game that came out and you were dying to see me play and I played on release day? I actually can't even think of it. Like a lot of the games, for example, Indiana Jones, that was a what if scenario. We didn't even know if it was going to be good, and we didn't know if I was going to play it or how it was going to go, right? So there wasn't a lot of hype behind it. Stalker 2 was the same deal where I didn't like Stalker 1, and it didn't really get a lot of attention, right? Like I don't think it was a overhyped game or anything. This fall, particularly, was a fall where most of the games were underwhelming during the busiest gaming season of the year, so most of the hype was dead. I would argue the last game that legitimately had major hype behind it and I played was Silent Hill 2 Remake. And that was the beginning of October. It's the end of January. Do you see my point? Now, the good news is, because people like me and my content, it doesn't matter what I'm playing. I can play old games like Dark Souls with mods, or I can continue to play a multiplayer game like Street Fighter 6 or Black Ops 6, or I could go play indie games like Balatro, right? We could play whatever we want, and people still show up, still engage, and still support. But my overall views are gonna be down. Right now, it's my core audience who's watching everything on the channel, and then people will come back when the new games start to hit. Undoubtedly, with that lineup that I just mentioned, February, March, and April, you're going to have people who are going to be coming back to the channel who haven't been here for a while because they want to see my honest takes on the new games as they come out this year, okay? So, that's why it's not a big deal. Don't worry that in the last couple of months, it looks like views are down and shit like that. Of course they are. I'm not just exclusively making content for this channel anymore. I'm splitting my efforts. I'm not even streaming just on this channel anymore. So therefore, even if you were trying to compare December 2024 to December 2023, it's not even a fair comparison because my streams are split. So a lot of the views that were coming in from the streams are now on Kick and don't count towards the channel anymore. But the point I'm making here is I want all of this stuff that I have added and you know, paid for and installed and got up and running to be working when these new games hit. I don't want it to be a big hot new release and that day my camera's turning off, my lighting's turning off, the stream's crashing, the freaking capture device is having glitches and issues, my GPU is maxed out. I can't have that. I need it working. All right. And if anything, I will tell you this. 10 years I had that old PC. That old PC that I spent like $3,000 on, right? And everyone said you bought a lemon, which I didn't. 10 years. That PC was old faithful. That thing, day in, day out, by hook or by crook, turned on and worked. There were some issues along the way with, for example, the microphone malfunctioning and I have to restart OBS and a corrupted video here or there. But for the most part, that was the most dependable PC I had ever had. and it allowed me to be consistent, Mr. Consistent. You knew that on a given day, I was going to be streaming at a certain time. I was going to be playing a certain game. You knew you could trust me to be there. This last 2 months, I'll be honest, I don't know, man. These last 2 months have been hit or miss with all these tech issues, all right? So what I'd like to do to start the show is address some of the issues that I'm having and to let you know about possible solutions or things that I've figured out and implemented. And we're going to see if anyone has any ideas that can help me out, because at this point, I'm at my wit's end. I think I've done what I can, and I think some of them are solved. But at this point, I want to be sure that I'm doing everything that I possibly can, all right? But before we get there, I got to do some shout outs because you guys have been supporting the stream right now. So let's get to it. First of all, Perry the White is here this morning and dropped a 10-member bomb on YouTube. Thank you to Perry for the 10 memberships this morning. I really appreciate you. And thanks for coming by and hanging out and supporting the content. That's going to count for $30 to get us started. A good head start towards our 84th goal being hit today. We're a fifth of the way there. Remember, the goal is when we hit 90, it's a new DSP Tries It, where I try a Japanese snacks box that I purchased off of Amazon. And I'm going to show it to you in just a moment. Some tips have rolled in. If it will scroll. It's Flatman B. Flatman B did a $2 tip and says, a lot of pre-built computers come with an underpowered power supply to cut corners and save some money. You probably have a 500 watt or 650 to 7. I believe it's an 800. I think we looked into it and it's an 800 watt. Throw 1,000 or 1,300 watt. It will not fix all but many problems, and it should help. If that is determined to be my issue, I would not have a problem doing that. Of course, what I'd have to do is remove the old one and figure out how to hook it up to everything properly, which I haven't done that in ages, so I'm not sure I would do it right. But if that's what it has to be, then that's what it has to be. I'm not going to lie. It is a possibility that could be what's going on. I'm going to talk about my issues in a second, and you guys are going to be like, it's a weird situation. It's a very confusing, suspect situation. I feel like I need Sherlock Holmes in here to start sniffing up the clues of what's really going on with these PC issues at this point. Thank you for the recommendation, and thank you for the tip. And then I received another $2 tip. And it's just a troll, so I'm just going to ignore them. Okay, cool. Where can you watch Smark Guys and on what days? Well, we're going to talk about that. Smark Guys is my wrestling commentary show that I do with PPP from the Kino Casino show over on Kick. And we stream it on my DSP Reacts channel, at DSP Reacts, and on my Kick channel, which is DSPGaming Real, every Tuesday. The last 3 Tuesdays, we did it in the morning, but this week we are changing the time. It's going to be a night stream now, starting around roughly 7 p.m. Pacific time, and it's going to run around 2.5 hours long, okay? So if you want to watch Smark Guys, it's not in the morning, okay? It's going to be at night, all right, the late stream, okay? So I want to make everyone aware of that. I want people to actually show up for the show, okay? Cool. All right. So thank you for the support there. Now, let's try to keep the momentum rolling. Let's hit the goal today of $150 of support over everywhere. You know, that includes YouTube. That includes Kick. That includes PayPal, which is tips that can be from anyone watching, right? Let's get some support rolling. Let's hit 84. You know what? Let's just do this now because we're talking about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Sakura Treats box fresh off of Amazon. I snuck it in. It was in the set the entire time. You guys had no idea. This is the box. Okay? So I know you may be shocked. You'd be like, wait a minute, that's the Treats box, that little box? This box contains 30 different treats from Japan. It includes salty and savory snacks. It includes sweets. It includes mixes. Some of it's candy. Some of it's more like crackers and cakes. It's got all of that in this small box. And you might say, well, how could they possibly do that? Do you want to know why? I'm not going to spoil, but just to very briefly show you, this is how they do it. I have it upside down because I'm stupid. See Sakura box? They do it because guess what? They're all snack size. This is the pamphlet that actually explains what's in it and gives you details on each item in the box. And then as you can see, each item is basically a small snack size. It's only a few bites. You're not getting a full portion of any of the snacks that are in here. Then they're all different and they're all stacked in there together. Okay? So the thing is, I don't want to spoil, so I'm not going to go into the box now and start looking. Like, I have no idea what any of this is, and I don't want to look at it because I'll spoil myself. With 30 items in the box, there's obviously no way that I could eat 30 items in one DSP Tries It. Likely what we would do is I'll go into the manual that lists all of the items because it shows them right here. Take a look. Every item in the box is listed, describing the flavors, describing the ingredients. So I can go through and maybe pick some of the best ones to try. Maybe we'll do 5 to 10 and try 5 or 10 items during DSP Tries It. And then I could maybe even save the box for later and we could go back and do it again at a future date because there's no way I could do 30 or else I'd be here for hours, right? So it's Sakura box, 30 different items. When we hit when we hit 90 goals hit, we could do it whenever. Like literally if someone today came in and supported a ton and we hit 90 goals hit, we could do it today. Why not? It's not like fast food that I need to get delivered. It's not like it's a meal. I could do it whenever. We could pause whatever I'm doing on stream and spend a half an hour checking out the box. Okay? So that's that. And that will be actually right here during the course of the week until we're ready for it. Cool? So thank you. And the sooner you support, the quicker we do it. Okay? That's awesome, is it not? Okay. Battleduck says, will this be your fancy night out? You can sit there thinking what wine to select for your main course. What? What? You talk about like you're going to a restaurant and they hand you the wine list and you're picking. I mean, yeah, it's essentially what it is. I'll be looking at the treats list and picking the ones I want to do, right? By the way, I believe there was an anonymous sub over on Kick. Am I correct? Because I think I saw it pop up, but it's off the screen. Was there one anonymous sub? I think so. And I'm going to count that as long as people confirm that that's true, that happened. By the way, I got Perry the White on the wrong section. Perry should be on memberships, not subs. Let's fix that. Was there an anonymous sub? Yeah, who got it? I don't know because I missed it. I saw it pop up when I was talking, but I don't know where it went. It was anonymous? Okay. So we should be at $38 to support so far then. Cool. Yeah, Battleduck says I was making fun of the menu. Exactly. So it's like you're looking at your wine list instead of you're looking at a snacks list, right? There you go. Anus says the AI bubble just popped. What does that mean, Anus? Because AI has been really hot recently and making everyone tons of money. Why do you say the AI bubble popped? Was there a crash in the stock market today for AI companies? Is that true? NVIDIA has dropped 20% value in 10 hours. What happened? What triggered that? Whoa. That's interesting because AI has been involved in everything, right? Like AI has been a major part of everything for the past couple of years. I mean, even me, this background is AI powered. The AI was programmed to look for the edges of the human body and delete everything around it so only the human body shows up and it removes your background. So this is AI powered, what I'm using right now on my stream. That's pretty crazy that the AI bubble is popping. Really? Not a crash. There's a big dip. People are freaking out because there's a new Chinese startup, but it seems super fishy. China came up with a chat GPT alternative. Okay. I'll have to keep my eye on that. That's an interesting breaking story. I didn't even know about that one. It's literally happening as we speak. Huh. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell just happened? Stupid Windows. Okay, I received a $4 tip from DTM. Dan the Man? From Dan the Man. Dan the Man, how are you? Thank you for a $4 tip. I appreciate that, Dan. That's our biggest tip of the day. So let's get that up on the leaderboard. Thank you, Dan. Look at that fancy D. This is supposed to be like a medieval font, and it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? A medieval font for Dark Souls today. So we're at 42 bucks of support. We're almost a third of the way there to our goal. Let's keep that momentum going. Let's hit the goal. By the end of the podcast, let's hit the goal. So when we start playing Dark Souls, we don't have to worry. All right. And again, the sooner the better. The more support we get, the faster we do the DSP tries it of the Sakura box, 30 treats box right behind me here. And the sooner we'll be doing the Viewer's Choice Marathon. Again, if you have not yet nominated a game for Viewer's Choice, what are you waiting for? Head to the main community tab of DSP Gaming. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, ready? Head to the main community tab of my DSP Gaming channel here on YouTube. It's right here, community. Scroll on down. And a few posts down, you will find, wow, this did pretty good for a highlight. You will find the thread from 2 days ago, which you can nominate games. 153 posts so far and climbing. Be sure to not only nominate what game you want to see me play during this special Viewer's Choice Marathon, but also be sure to like the posts from people who have already nominated games that you want to see. All right? I'm going to use this thread by the end of this week to make a poll. And you guys will vote on that poll and determine what is the Viewer's Choice game for the marathon. We're getting close. Today, we may even get, another 2 goals hit or more, and then we're only 15 away. It looks like it'll probably take place sometime next week, okay? And I'm excited for that. Hopefully it does. Cool? All right, thank you, guys. All right, now let's get to the subject at hand, okay? Oh, is he being racist yet again? One sec, puppy, could you please stop being incredibly racist in the chat? At this point, you shake your head. You're like, dude, this guy, he never learns his lesson. He's been incredibly racist for like 5 years straight. All right, he's publicly apologized. Anyway, so, let's talk about tech issues that I'm having, because maybe you guys have some ideas, okay? Which box did I get? This is the 30 treats box, because Sakura box has a bunch of different ones. There's a 15 treats, a 30 treats, I think a 40 or 50 treats. I got the 30 treats. And then here's the thing. If we like this, if this turns out to be a hit and people really like me doing this, they have other themed boxes. They have ones from different parts of Europe, or just one that covers all of Europe. And then they have one that's Korea only. So I could actually get different themed boxes to try over time. Okay? That'd be pretty cool. All right. Cool. So let's continue. So here's the deal, folks. What tech issues have been ongoing tech issues that I've been having? Let's discuss these, okay, one by one. First off, okay, one issue that I'm having that's an ongoing issue. The wireless connectivity of my my capture and streaming PC, not the gaming PC, but the capture and streaming PC, getting wirelessly connected to my wireless router downstairs, which then is connected to all of my wireless devices. Now, you might say, what do you mean? Why do you need wireless? I thought your capture streaming PC is hooked up via Ethernet because you're streaming right now. You upload videos. Don't you use Ethernet? I do. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely do. I have a modem that is dedicated just to that PC for uploading and streaming. It's literally only used for uploading and streaming. That's it. It has its own modem in the office here, okay? However, everything today is wireless. I'll give you an example. The light that I'm using right now on this podcast is wireless. It's not actually hooked up to anything. It's hooked up via a wireless adapter inside of it. So I turn it on and off wirelessly. You see? You can't hook it up with a wire. It's not possible. Okay? All the RGB lights you see behind me. I have a big tower here, and a big powerful light under me, behind me. The RGB lights that I have against the back walls of the studio, those are all wireless, okay? They all wirelessly connect to a network. This Divoom Pixu 64 frame, wirelessly connected to the network. You cannot use wired connections for these. They all need a network, okay? So Um, I basically have to have wireless enabled on my streaming and capture PC in order to enable any of these devices for my use. And it sucks, but that's just how they're used. That's just it, okay? Um, so at first, I wasn't having any issue, okay, at all. I was having no issues. Everything was fine. And then all of a sudden, about early January, okay, all of a sudden, I kept losing the wireless connection between this PC and my wireless router downstairs. And I'm like, why does it keep disconnecting? The thing is, here's the funny part about it, okay? Guess what else in my house? I just spilled water all over the place, so I need to get a napkin here. Guess what else in my house uses that same connection? My phone. Guess what never disconnects ever from that? My phone. So if my phone is always connected to the wireless network and has no issue, why is my PC having said issue? Okay, so I cleaned up a big mess. I spilled my drink here. So if my wireless connection is working fine with my phone nonstop, why is the wireless connection consistently disconnecting on my capture and streaming PC? And I tried different things. I tried setting it up to auto reconnect. It literally has not auto reconnected once ever. If it disconnects, it just disconnects. And you've probably seen this before. My lights just turn off behind me. And I'm like, and then I go to look for the network and the network's not there. And I got to wait. And then all of a sudden the network will come back and I reconnect and it works again. And then it'll just disconnect 5 minutes later again. And sometimes it'll eventually fix itself over time and work again and be stable. And then other times it won't work at all. And I have to restart my whole PC. And then all of a sudden it'll work. All right. So basically, the crap hit the fan last night. I was playing Balatro. Okay. And it just went off and would not reconnect no matter what I tried. It wouldn't work. In fact, it wasn't even showing up. Okay. So I got pretty frustrated with it. And like I said, I restarted the computer and the network still didn't show up. And I'm like, dude, I restarted and it's still not there. And then I realized something. I said, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's the simplest solution that you overlook. And it could be that's the issue. And I said, what would be the absolute simplest solution to this problem? Something's loose. So I went to the back of the PC, and this PC has 2 big antennas that stick out of the motherboard, okay, that you can adjust or whatever to try to get a wireless signal. And I touch one, and it's really loose. It's not even like, a little loose. It's like barely on. I was like, what? Now, I had these on tight. So why are you telling me this thing auto loosens itself over time? I'm not back there twisting it. And it was on tight when I got the PC. So I basically went, oh shit. And I tightened it all the way. And the other one, I tightened as far as I could. And I put the antennas, up again. And I tried. It has worked now since last night, 0 problems. It found the network. It connected to the network. The wireless connectivity is working. The lights work. No problems. 0 issues. Now, BattleDuck says, was it Jasper? Doubtful. And here's why I say that. Jasper Kitty does like to go around the office messing with stuff, but technically he stays away from areas with high wire traffic. Like, he's never been behind that PC because it's full of wires. So he wouldn't go back there. He would go over there to my entertainment system and lay down next to the PS5 Pro. He's laid directly in front of the gaming PC over there, but he doesn't like going into the wires. So I don't think it was him. I just think perhaps the wireless antenna thing isn't very good. I really do feel like it's probably that. Like, basically, these antennas are not of the highest quality, and so they don't really stay on tight. That's all I can think of. So let's see what happens. But as of right now, it's actually looking quite promising. The signal has not disconnected or even shown as weak once. It's connected. Everything turned on this morning. The lights turned right on. I had no issues whatsoever with any connectivity. So fingers crossed, knock on wood. Hopefully everything is going to work with the wireless moving forward. And that was the issue. And maybe periodically I need to go check and see if those things got loose. It very well could be, if you remember, Over the last month, there's different things I've been doing. I've been plugging in different webcams, trying to find the correct port for the capture device. And maybe as I was doing all that stuff, it got loosened a little bit, right? And then, I just didn't notice, okay? All right. So that's issue number one. And I think maybe we figured it out, okay? Now, the other issue that I'm having is an ongoing issue that I don't think is a simple solution. And sadly, I feel like it's going to be a problem, all right? So allow me to explain. By the way, Captain Based Pants, 2 months as a member, and says, Jasper, the Detractor Kitty confirmed. Absolutely not. Jasper is my biggest fan and buddy. Never do anything like that. He's a good kitty. Don't say that. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. So, the other ongoing issue that we are having absolutely has something to do or has a relation with the USB ports on my new PC. All right. I suspect there's something wrong with certain USB ports, and there could be various different reasons that could lead to that. All right. People have actually been already kind of brainstorming reasons why these USB ports aren't working properly. Okay. So allow me to explain what I mean. Particularly, it seems to be an issue with my webcams. Okay, this new webcam I'm using, which is called the Insta360 Link 2, and this webcam over here that I'm using, which is called the Insta360 Link 2C. The only difference between these two webcams is very simple. The C is stationary and does not turn at all, okay? While the one over here, the 2, does have an arm. And this one can turn and can aim in various directions. And it has AI powered that you can have the AI auto adjust the camera and do things for you and even follow you around the room, which is kind of a really neat feature. Okay? So, what am I talking about when I say what are the issues I'm having with these webcams? Well, first off, we had my other webcam, which was bricked. This is the old model webcam that I was using from August when it was donated by a viewer all the way through like a week ago. This is the Insta360 Link. It's the Model 1. The one I'm using right now is Model 2, okay? This thing is awesome. I loved it. Great quality, follows you around the room, great auto adjustments and everything. Like, I never had an issue with it. I loved it. The only thing that was funny was I would sometimes accidentally enable it, and it would start following me around the room automatically, which I didn't want, and it would freak me out when we had some funny podcast moments because of it. But basically, after this Windows update happened a week ago, okay, this thing has been bricked, meaning if I plug this into my PC, any port for the record, not only one USB port or another, it turns on, which means it goes blue. There's a blue light on it, which indicates it's powered up, and then immediately just turns itself right back off. And I tried everything. Nothing fixes this issue. I tried manually updating the firmware on it. It doesn't do anything. I tried updating the software, the proprietary software that this comes with. It doesn't even detect the camera. So whatever this Windows update was a week ago, this Windows security update, okay, it made it so that this just won't work properly with Windows 11 anymore. I think that's ridiculous because you're telling me people are going to buy this webcam because you could still buy it right now. Even though there's newer models, you could still buy this off of Amazon and other places right now, and these people are going to go to install it, and it's just not going to work. All because Microsoft did this stupid Windows update, okay? Now, I haven't found the solution for this yet. I'm strongly considering rolling back the Windows update from a week ago because this worked perfectly before that Windows update. And if that's the case, if I can get that to work, I can actually have this camera over here instead of the stationary one. And here's the cool thing. I can have this camera follow me around the room. You can set this up to auto zoom and auto follow. So when I'm doing things in the room, it'll pan in and pan out. If I get up and walk this way, it'll turn and follow me through the room. How cool would that to have a camera that follows me through the studio if I'm doing stuff, right? That would be pretty neat. That would be pretty unique. How many people have that? Okay, so I would love that. I think that would be pretty dope, all right? But here's my problem with doing that, sadly, Microsoft forces updates upon you, meaning I could roll back the update, okay? And by the way, HoboX says you should. This update, which was 24H2, has broken tons of things for people, corrupting drivers for GPUs, USB devices, audio, etc. I think that's what it did. I think that's what it did for this webcam. Okay, I think it screwed this webcam over completely. All right. Now, the problem here is Microsoft forces these updates on you. You can only delay updates for a certain period of time, and then Windows is like, that's it, your time is up, and now you must install the update no matter what. I know you might be saying to yourself, wait, what? Yes, Microsoft actually thinks they can bully you into doing updates that they say are mandatory, despite the fact you own your computer. They have no right to do anything whatsoever to change your computer. At all, legally, they can't do it, but they do it. Why? Because no one sues them. Microsoft has absolutely no ability to force you to put any software update on your computer. That's illegal. But they do it anyway because they're the biggest corporation and no one stops them because no one sues them. So, if I roll back this update, okay, it's a temporary fix. Eventually, at some point, whether it be in a week, a month, a year, it's probably going to be in about a month or two, I'm going to be forced to do this update. And then when I'm forced to do it, apparently this camera will just not work again. And I think that's bullshit. What if I get this working with my setup? It's beautiful and people really like it that I can walk around, have a camera follow me around the studio, and it's a really cool thing we implement. And then all of a sudden one day, oh, guess what? Doesn't work, right? Late note, I already did the firmware update for the camera. It doesn't work. This manufacturer who makes this camera basically put out a way to manually do a firmware update. It does not work. Okay, it literally doesn't. I did it step by step the way that they explain it, and you get to a certain step and the camera doesn't respond the way that they claim it's going to. There's a certain, what you're supposed to do is you hook it up, you tap it on the front, there's a touch sensor, it's supposed to enable input mode, then you drag and drop the firmware onto the camera in your PC. It's supposed to hard install the firmware update, and then you're supposed to tap it a few times again, and it's supposed to go to a certain color mode and then install the update. It doesn't do it. It actually doesn't do the response the way that they claim it does. So the manufacturers don't even know what the hell they're talking about. They're idiots, okay? So I tried doing the manual firmware update. It doesn't work because the tapping doesn't actually make it install. You can put it in there and you do it, it doesn't install. So you can't manually upgrade the firmware on this camera. Maybe at one point you could, but at one point they must have updated it, and now you can't. What it is, they want you to just use their proprietary software to do it, meaning plug this into your computer on USB, open up their software, it auto-detects this, and then says, oh, firmware update, do it automatically. Guess what? With this Windows update, Windows doesn't detect this camera. It turns on and off again, so the software doesn't detect it. You can't update the camera. So basically, it literally is bricked. Although some people, oh, it's not bricked. No, it is. It's just that it turns on and off again. It's literally a piece of, it's like, it's bricked. It doesn't function the way it's supposed to, and there's no way to actually update the firmware or the drivers at all. Okay? So that's one thing that I'm tackling with right now, and I'm thinking, should I roll back the Windows update and see if this works? I might. I strongly might. Okay, I'm definitely considering it. Now, the other issue I'm having is with USB ports on the computer, notably, even this new webcam now that I've been using for this week. This is, again, the Insta360 Link 2. This one's also been giving me problems. Allow me to explain. When I first plugged it in, it would turn on, and it has this green ring that shows that it's powered on and working properly. The green ring would light up whenever I was using this with any kind of software, whether it was the proprietary software from Insta360 or whether it was OBS, my streaming and capture software, okay? It would still show this green ring light and the camera would be facing me and it would be working. All of a sudden, I'd say about halfway through this last week, the camera stopped working automatically when I opened OBS. Like I would open OBS and the camera would still be powered down. And I was like, why is it not on? It's supposed to be working. I even have the scene open, like this scene right now, the Level 1 podcast scene has this camera as a video source, but the camera wouldn't turn on. And I was like, why is it not working? So I tried unplugging and replugging in, and then it would work. Why? Why didn't it just turn on when I opened OBS? That doesn't make sense. But unplugging and replugging would get it to work. And I'm like, well, I guess if that's the solution I need to do, then I guess that's the solution I need to do. So that's what I would do. And I did that for like 3-4 days in a row. Then all of a sudden yesterday, okay, I opened OBS, it was off. I unplugged it and replugged it. It turned on and it turned off again. And then I unplugged it and replugged it and it turned on and it turned right off again. And I was like, what the hell is going on? What would cause this? So I did an experiment, okay? This camera had been plugged into one of the USB ports on the back of my PC. I removed the cable from the back and I plugged it into one of the USB 3.0 ports that's on the front hub of my PC. In fact, I have a bunch of these. There's 2 USB 3.0. There's one USB-C on the front of my PC. So I plugged it into one of the 3.0 ports. And guess what happened? The camera turned on, fully powered, and never turned off. I did the entire Balatro stream last night, and the camera worked perfectly. In addition, this morning, I opened up OBS, and when I did, the camera turned itself on, and I didn't have to unplug and replug it back into the USB port at all. So simply moving this camera from the back USB port on the back of the PC to the front hub seems to have solved the problem. But what was the problem? Right? What is the problem? Is the problem that the ports are faulty and they only kind of work half the time, and sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, and they do whatever they want? Could it be that my motherboard is faulty? And even though I have all these USB ports, half of them don't work properly? Could it be a power issue where somehow these ports aren't getting the full power they're supposed to get? So sometimes they are, and then the stuff works, but then other times, if there's more stuff that's on at once, it's less power being provided, and therefore a camera like this one that has AI and a movable, device on it, maybe that's why it won't work. I don't get it. Now, keep in mind, this is the back of the PC. I'm not talking about the front panel. Typically, when you talk about PC having issues with USB ports, it's the one on the front panel. Why? Technically, any USB ports on the front panel of a PC is on a USB hub, meaning it's just a hub that's split and has less power, and it goes to your motherboard, while the USB ports on the back of your PC go directly into your motherboard and should have more power. I'm literally getting the opposite effect. The problem was when I had this camera plugged into the back. Now that I plugged it into the front, which usually would cause an issue, it's working better. How does that make any sense? It's literally the opposite of what you would expect. So how do you justify it and scientifically explain it? I don't get it. Now, on top of all of that, okay, seriously, on top of all of that, when we went to play Balatro, because remember I said I unplugged the camera from the back, I plugged it into the front USB port, and then the camera worked fine. I went to play Balatro and I realized my capture device froze too. And I went to look, it wasn't showing as an input device in OBS anymore. What was going on? So I unplugged the capture device from the USB 3.2 or 3.3, whatever the highest grade USB port is, it's colored red. That's what this capture device needs. It needs that to do the high-end capture. So I unplugged it, I replugged that back in, and then the capture device rebooted and worked fine. And I can confirm, as you can see right now, the capture device is working. Okay? So this is just absolutely positively ridiculous. It seems to me I've got a big problem with the ports on my computer, and the more that's in there being used at once, okay, the less functionality it has. Since I have 2 webcams, this high-end external capture device, this microphone, okay, all plugged in there going, and Stream Deck as well is plugged in. something's going on and they're not all working properly. Lady Charisma says, the thing with USB ports is the more you have pulling from the same controller, the back ports, the less power there is to go around. Your best bet would be buying a powered hub. I do have a powered hub. That powered hub currently has the wireless adapters for the keyboard, the mouse. There's a few other things. It has like 3 or 4 different things plugged into it. Oh, the printer, because I have a printer, that's plugged into the wireless hub. That's powered, has external power. There's a few things. Speakers, no, speakers don't need USB. There's something else too that's plugged into that. I can't remember exactly, but there's like 3 or 4 devices plugged into an externally powered USB hub. Okay, so yeah, I have that, and I'm not sure, what I can do to fix this situation. Right now, the capture device is working. Maybe I just need to keep this camera on the front USB port, and then it won't have an issue. Maybe what people are saying is literally with this capture device, which is incredibly powerful, the wireless adapter with its antennas, that's drawing power, right? The microphone, the Stream Deck, the other webcam over there, maybe it's maxed, right? Maybe it's maxed out now, and it just can't handle anything else, which I think is stupid. I do. I think that's really stupid, but I don't know what else to do. But it's working today, at least. So I'm going to keep this camera plugged into the front. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to plug it into the back. I'm going to keep it plugged into the front and see what happens. Okay? Now, here's another thing, because people are making all these suggestions, right? So one suggestion is get a PCI Express expansion thing, and maybe you can add some more USB ports on there. Well, I would do that, except the PCI Express card slot that's in this motherboard is fucked up. It's underpowered. How do I know? Because remember, in early December, when we first were going to use this, I was going to use an internal capture card. Do you remember that? I showed it to you right here on stream. I bought it, and I showed it. Here it is. Here's the AverMedia. Well, actually, it was an Elgato. It was an internal Elgato capture card. And I wanted to do that so that way I didn't need an external device anymore. I could just have everything plugged into the back of the PC. Guess what? We plugged it in. It fit in the slot, but didn't work. Why? Because the PCI Express card slot on this motherboard is underpowered and crappy. Yeah, this motherboard is essentially a smaller motherboard put into a bigger case. I don't know why they did that besides skimping. It makes no sense. Why do I have a bigger case with like a mini motherboard inside? It really feels like they skimped on this computer. Like, absolutely, I got kind of ripped off on the motherboard. And there should have been a much better motherboard in there that, was better. And I feel like I'm getting screwed over now 2 months later trying to do stuff with it, right? Yeah, so I'm not sure. At this point, it's like, so what exactly is the solution to the problem? Is it that I use a powered USB hub? Hold on one second. I did get another USB hub, an Acer one, and I never used it, but it's not powered. It's just standard USB, and it splits it into 4 USB, I guess 2.0s, and then 1 USB-C. But I don't think this is powered, so I don't think that this actually does like 3.0, nor would it help my situation at all. I don't think that would do anything for me. I'm I'm even positive. I think I have another one in my closet. Look at this. I do have another USB hub in my closet, and this one is powered. This one actually has its own power supply. Okay. And this one, I believe, is just USB. I don't think this does 3. I think this is USB 2 because it's blue, right? If it's blue, it's USB 2. Or is blue USB 3? See how confusing this is? So is black USB 1, blue USB 2, and red USB 3? I am so confused. But this one is powered. It's called the J5 Create. I've had it for ages and never used it. So Super Bonchan says use the unpowered hub for the keyboard and shit, and the powered hub for the stuff. Serenity now. Serenity now. Peace and calm. Serenity now. It literally shows maximum strength connection to the wireless network. I'm not even, it's 5 bars. Maximum strength connection to the wireless network. Why did it disconnect? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. 0 sense. 0. That it would disconnect from the wireless network. I hurt its feelings. There you go. I must have hurt its feelings. Now it's very upset with me. So now the question is, how long will it connect and how long will it stay connected and will it disconnect again? I don't know what's causing it to disconnect. Like literally all I just did, I walked over there and I made sure that the antennas were tight and I just repositioned them. Like they were sticking up. I had one, now I'm having them sticking out straight instead. Because remember, the wireless router's downstairs, not upstairs. So having the antennas up, I don't think really matters. Doesn't really help. So all I did was reposition them. And then I went over here and I looked, and the network was there at 5 bar strength. I connected, and now it's working again. I need an access point in the studio. I feel like the wireless adapter in the PC sucks. I do. I think the wireless adapter is a piece of garbage. So that's a problem. But what could I do to fix that? When's the last time I rebooted the router? Tuesday of last week, because that's when the internet went out. Remember, the internet went out all day? So the router rebooted continuously for all day, and then it rebooted and I got it back. Connected to the 5G, has to be 5G. Nothing connects to 2G anymore. Oh, wait, are you talking about, I know what you're talking about, the different signals. Most of the wireless devices are connected via 2G, or whatever the lower grade was, but the PC has to connect via 5G. Yeah, 2.4 gigahertz, right. Yeah, the PC will not connect via 2.4 gigahertz. It won't. It only connects via 5G. And I think that's, again, I think that's a shortcoming of the wireless adapter, is that it's not a very good wireless adapter that's built into the motherboard. So maybe that's my issue. Good morning, Mark. Yes, I know. Many people, again, this is why a lot of people enjoy the convenience of just gaming on consoles, because they don't have to deal with this stuff. No, the PC only has the 5G. The PC doesn't have the ability to connect. Like, it won't even find my downstairs network, which is my downstairs network is 2.4 and 5G. It has both. All these devices connect via 2.4. None of these devices use 5G. Only like high-end devices like a phone or a PC use 5G. So this computer will only find my network at 5G. It won't even find 2.4 gigahertz. Why not run Ethernet to everything? Because it would be impossible to run an Ethernet cable from here all the way through my hallway, all the way down my hallway, all the way down my stairwell, all the way downstairs, across my hallway, snaking around all the walls, all the way around my closet, all the way to the far wall, to the back wall of it would be like 700 to 800 feet of Ethernet cable. Yeah. Oh, my router has a zillion things connected, but again, my router isn't the problem. Literally nothing disconnects from my router but the PC. The phone stays connected. My wife's phone stays connected. We've got literally a million things. We've got the fire adapter downstairs for TV that always stays connected and never disconnects. Excuse me. All these devices, they don't disconnect. They all stay connected to the router. It's only the PC that disconnects from the router consistently. See you later, Captain. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, I did get a. Hold on. I know it just. See here. Let me double check this before I say something. Someone tipped $2 says for Vietnamese food. Try you dumb fuck. It sounds good. Thanks for the $2 tip. What a cheesy attempt at a joke. All right. I can buy a USB wireless adapter if I think that's the issue. Super Bonshot. Hold on. We just had a half an hour segment about how the USB devices on the computer are malfunctioning. The camera won't stay on. The capture device didn't work. You want me to buy a USB wireless adapter for this computer? Do you think that would be the solution? I'm not so sure about that one. Oh, man. Why not have all the PC and RGBs on the upstairs internet? As I've already explained, the upstairs modem is just a modem. It's used only for playing games online, uploading videos, and uploading streams, and that's it. It does not have wireless. I don't want all the wireless devices in my home attached to it. Imagine if that modem had uploads, streaming, all the data from gameplay, my TV, 2 phones, okay, and other various devices, all these devices all going through the one modem. Does that sound like a good idea? I think that would probably be a really bad idea. That's why I have 2 internet lines. The downstairs internet line is for TV and the 2 phones, okay, and anything we do with those, plus any other, miscellaneous devices such as this guy, the lighting, etc. All goes through the downstairs modem. The upstairs modem is just for uploading and streaming. That way they don't interfere with each other. I also don't have wireless on this upstairs modem. I used to, but that's when I got rid of. Okay, now we're getting into other topics. That was when an employee of Comcast was a troll of mine and was sitting here hitting the reset button on my modem and was turning on and off settings inside of said modem with the wireless network that was in it, because the modem that Comcast provides you is an all-in-one. That's both a modem and a wireless router in one. And they were going in there and they were turning on the wireless network with names that were insanely insulting. So all my neighbors would see the names publicly when they looked for wireless. Like, imagine if you're looking for your wireless network and you see Netgear 55, Xfinity 5G, and Phil Burnell is a fat fuck. Wait, what is that one called? Phil Burnell is a fat fuck. I'm not kidding. That's what this guy was doing. He was actually turning on my wireless without my permission and having it say insulting names about me. And by the way, that's tame because it was actually saying stuff like Phil Burnell is a pedophile. Now imagine your neighbor sees your wireless network, says that you're a pedophile. How do you think what your neighbor's going to feel about you then, right? So it was a lot more serious than you may even think. Okay. So, yeah, anyway. So when this was happening, I disconnected that wireless modem and router, okay? And I gave it back to them. I said, I don't want your modem, because if you have an employee that can maliciously do that, I don't ever want you to have that control over me, ever. So I bought my own modem, and I've been using that now for 1.5 years, but it's just a modem. It doesn't have wireless built into it. So I don't have a wireless network in my office. It's only downstairs is my network. What? Listen to this. This is great. Someone tipped $1.01 and says, Phil, you were always on Ethernet when you just used a console. Now that you're using PC and you've bought all of this junk, now you have these problems. You did this to yourself. At the 100 goal, you should have your chat fix your monstrosity of a setup. So guess what, folks? It's my fault that I decided to join the PC master race. It's my fault that I finally upgraded my capture and streaming PC. It's my fault that I became a PC gamer. And it's my fault that I decided to join the realm of modern technology. I didn't have any of these problems before I started using modern technology. And now that I'm trying to use modern technology, now I just have endless tech issues. So it's my fault. Everything is my fault. You didn't know that? Everything. Every possible thing ever was my fault. You know how the dinosaurs went extinct? That's my fault. You know how JFK was assassinated? Somehow I was the secret second gunman on the grassy knoll. I don't know if you knew that. That was me. Right? It's all me. Don't bear the weight of the world, says Piano-ish. Oh, man. So here's the good news. All right. The camera's worked the entire podcast and hasn't turned off and hasn't shown any signs of issue. The capture device is still working. So at least in that regard, it seems like the issues I'm having with USB aren't rearing their ugly head, I guess we could say. See, here's the other thing too. So for example, Super Bonchan is like, so here's what you should do. Use a non-powered USB hub for things like your wireless adapter for your keyboard and mouse, because those don't need a lot of power or bandwidth or issue. Use the powered USB hub for things like the cameras that need power to run. I understand what you're saying, but here's the question. What USB ports do I plug these hubs into? Because how do I even know which USB ports work? If the USB ports are having the issue, who cares if I plug the hub into the port, right? It might still not work. Correct? So, like, I feel like you're right. You're well-intentioned, and I appreciate that. I just don't know. Like, this just seems like way more work again on top of more work. It's like, oh my God. He says trial and error. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take this hub and I'll plug it into each and every USB port, systematically testing it with the cameras and see what works and what doesn't. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take a whole day off. No streams and spending no time with my wife or family members. No, I'm just going to be in this office, plugging in each one, trying out each device in each port individually, swapping back and forth, plugging and unplugging. Uh, all right. Well, if the wireless goes out, I think if I just mess with the antenna, okay, and then I turn it back on, it'll work again. It seems like that's the case. Like if the wireless goes out, all I gotta do is waggle the antennas a little bit, and then the network shows up again at 5 bars, and I'm able to connect to it and have no problem. So maybe it's that simple of a solution with the wireless, and maybe it won't be something that happens all the time. I hope. Oh man. All right. Well, Anchor makes a hub that's amazing. Yeah, I don't know this one here. I don't know how old this one is. This could be an ancient hub. I'm not sure, or I might have just bought it. J5 Create is what it's called. The J5 Create USB hub, and it is blue. So I think it's 3.0, but I'm not sure. I don't even know. It's powered. It has its own giant block of a power adapter to it, right? So you would think, why do people say J5 is garbage? Is it? Is this crap? J5 is crap? I don't know. I don't even know if this is new or old. I just, it's in my closet, and I don't know if I just bought it recently or if it's like ancient. Because I bought this one, and I thought this one was powered, and it's not. It's just it's a basic USB port. I was like, oh shit, I thought it was a powered hub, and it's not. J5 is a Chinese knockoff company. Very nice. Well, I mean, isn't everything just a Chinese knockoff these days? Like, for example, hold on. Let me get my reading glasses. Grandpa Phil has reading glasses. So this is Acer. And Acer's USB, it says right on it, USB 3.0 hub made in China. So Acer is made in China. Yeah, Shanghai, China. It says right on here, Shanghai, China. And then we got J5. And J5 says, wait a minute. Hold on. Uh-oh, guys. You're all in big trouble. Are you ready for this? You ready for this? Made in Taiwan. Taiwan, not China. You got caught the fuck out. J5 is made in Tai fucking Wan. It's not Chinese junk. It's Taiwanese garbage. You got your spot blown up and you got exposed live on stream. Made in Taiwan, baby. There you go. Taiwan is a knockoff of Chinese knockoffs, I'm being told. China considers Taiwan China. Wow. Taiwan is a legit Chinese government seat. Too bad. It says Taiwan, it ain't China, or it would say China. The Acer is Chinese junk. The J5 is Taiwanese garbage. So I'm being told this is 3.0. So this is a powered 3.0 port. It's four blue ports. It's not C though. It's only regular 3.0A. It doesn't have 3.0C. This one is four 3.0s, A's, and one C, but it's not powered, so it's not going to really work. Okay. So I guess I could mess around with it since I do have a power. The other problem is I don't think I have a power socket over there to plug this into. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I do. But I think I might actually. Now I'm thinking about it. I think I had a power squid behind me over here. And when I rewired everything, I think I moved the power squid over there. So if I could find a working USB port on there, maybe the front one, because the front one seems to be working for this camera, maybe I can use this powered hub, all right, and this USB hub, and I can plug the cameras into this, and this will be powered by separate power rather than the power of the PC, and maybe it'll work better? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, it's a possibility. The problem is I just need time. I have no time. Like, that's the thing. I have no time to do any of this shit. We're going to stream Dark Souls. I'm going to upload it. I'm going to go eat dinner with my wife. I'm going to come back into this office, get set up again, stream Call of Duty. At the end of Call of Duty, probably upload, set up for tomorrow's streams, and then I spend like an hour with my wife and I go to sleep. I am in this office all day working. I don't have extra time to come in here and do this shit. I just don't. You know, I try to sneak in here. Some nights my wife is asleep. You know, she goes to sleep early because she has work in the morning. And some nights I sneak out of bed and I come in here at night and I fucking fuck with the tech stuff. But I shouldn't be doing that. I should be able to just sleep, you know? Dank Sneed Pimp says, John Cena had to apologize to China for recognizing Taiwan. So he recognized Taiwan as an independent country. And China got pissed with him. So he had to apologize to Acer for recognizing the J5 hub. I see. Got it. Now we're talking world politics because of two USB hubs. Who thought on the Level 1 podcast we would be discussing geopolitical strife and disagreements because of two USB hubs, right? You never thought you'd ever get here in my content. You thought this was just lowbrow, dumb, mouth-drooling content, but no. Instead, we talk the big issues, all right? Tenzorin says, why don't you take a break for like a month and somehow starve out your detractors? Well, I have to get to that point, Tenzorin. You have to understand that I'm not exactly the most financially stable guy. I went through a bankruptcy 5 years ago. That left me in a pretty bad position. And for several years there, like 3-4 years, I was literally living paycheck to paycheck. I have no credit. I'm not in a situation where I could just not work for a month. If I continuously work hard and I keep making what I'm making right now, for say a whole year moving forward, yeah, then maybe I'd have some money saved up, maybe I'd have some credit, and maybe I'd be able to just take a month off of work, okay? That may be possible, but right now it's not. It's just not feasible. I'd like to maybe somehow do that at some point in my life, but I haven't been able to do it. My face looks red because of the lighting. This lighting, every day the lighting makes everything look different. You notice that? So the auto exposure is looking at a yellow background, and it's auto exposure adjusting, and it's making my face look more red today. When I was all white yesterday, it looked different too. Like my skin color will look different every day depending on the lighting. Yep. All right, let me put all these hubs in the closet. At least I know I have them. You know, if I need them. Oh, I have another thing, by the way. I have one more thing before we end the podcast today. I have one more thing to show you all. All right? I've totally forgot about it. It'll be our last topic of the day. Okay. All right, watch this. I got a dust buster. So now I can clean the office whenever I want. And it even has an extendable reach nose for those hard to reach corners. Yeah! Yeah! Works pretty good. I have to clean the whole office with it, obviously, but I'm going to use this frequently now to keep this office clean. This is something that I was very, very bad at previously. I didn't clean this office well. So now I have a hand air blaster that blasts things like my keyboard to clean the crap and hair out of that. And I have this to suck all the dirt and dust off of everything so I can keep the office clean because I don't want to have it be dirty. Really? My noise gate completely cuts out the vacuum cleaner? You couldn't hear it when it's on the ground. You can only hear it when I'm holding it up to it. Okay. Well, my noise gate's good then. That's cool. Well, I guess we could. Someone says do a clean the office day. We could do a whole day where I just go wide angle, and if I can get if I can get this guy working again, we could have the camera follow me around the room as I clean the whole room. It'll actually AI follow me around the room automatically. Jasper, it's okay. He's afraid of vacuums, so he ran. It's okay, buddy. He ran when I turned on the dustbuster. He gets scared of vacuum cleaning. You don't have to be afraid of the vacuum, buddy. He gets so scared. I don't know. I have no clue why he's afraid of vacuum cleaning. Maybe it's something to do with his past, because we rescued him. He literally runs for the hills. Runs for the hills when he sees a vacuum cleaner. I don't know why. He runs and hides under the bed and stuff. So. Is that true? A lot of cats don't like vacuum cleaner noise? Is that actually true? I didn't know that. I typed okay in Kick Chat because someone said they were trying to tag me and my name's not showing up to tag. It's just a dustbuster, buddy. You don't have to be afraid of the dustbuster. He's staring at it very inquisitively, wondering what it is. You don't have to be afraid. I'm going to go keep I didn't finish charging it. It says you have to charge it for 5 hours. I've only charged it for like maybe 2 or 3. Well, it works well. Billy Jasper Bowl. Oh, well, it worked well. All right. Well, this has been a fun podcast, huh? So, number one, thanks for enjoying a chill time with me. Okay. And I hope that you're looking forward to the Sakura box, right? Let's hit that goal. Guys, we didn't even hit $50. Let's hit $50 right now. We're 5 away. Someone drop a 5, whether it's a sub, couple memberships, a $5 super chat, a tip. Someone drop 5 right now. Let's end the podcast at 50 so that we have 100 to go during the gameplay. Okay. And let's hit that goal. Let's get the goal right, so that we can, actually do this unboxing and taste testing of the Sakura box as soon as possible. Plus, I'll be honest, I'm craving the Viewer's Choice Marathon. I want to do a fun marathon with you guys. I want to play a game. I want to drink some booze. I want to have some food. I want to do some fun stuff. Okay? You sent me a mislabeled email. All right, thank you, Battle Duck. I'll have to take a look. What brand is it? Black & Decker Dustbuster. My parents, for the longest time, had a Dustbuster. It's really called a hand vacuum, but that's the name brand Dustbuster from Black & Decker. So good stuff. And it's like the mid-range one. It's not the powerful one, but it's not the crappy one. Like, they sell really crappy ones that are only like 7 volts. This one's like 12.5 volts or something. The most powerful one they sell is like 20 volts. It's insane, but they cost like $90. Like, I'm not dropping $90 on a freaking dustbuster. I don't need to be sucking industrial strength things off the floor in my office. It's just to get the dust, dirt, and hair out of the studio. It's not meant to, be going into my garage and sucking up years of dirt off the floor or anything like that. Okay. Dan, what do you mean you won't make it through the gameplay today? Don't you like Dark Souls? You don't want to see Dark Souls 1? It's been a great run so far. Is it an office or a studio? It's technically both. Like, but legally, it's classified as my work office, home office for business and tax purposes. But this is also a studio. At this point, when you have multiple camera angles and you're filming all day, it's a studio. No, the vacuum I have downstairs is huge. The vacuum that I have downstairs is a giant stand-up pet hair vacuum that's heavy, and I don't want to lug it in here every time to clean. This way, every day I could just grab the dustbuster and walk through and zoom around and get the dust gone, which is what I want to do. Once it's fully charged, I'm going to do a walkthrough, and I'm just going to zoom all the tops of everything. This stand is dirty. This shit has like glitter and stuff from Christmas on it, so I want to fully clean the top of this for sure. All back here behind has stuff from like when I built this wall of foam. There was like drywall pieces that I never really fully vacuumed the floor. So I'm going to get all the drywall pieces out of the crevice here of the floor. I should probably vacuum all that side of the office near the window because the window's open constantly, so there's dust and shit coming in over there. Like, I just want to thoroughly do a big zooming of the office, and then basically on a daily basis, you know, do little touch-ups for when I see stuff. Dan, thank you for gifting a membership. You gifted a membership. It went to Son Goku. Congrats, Son Goku. And thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate that. That's $3 of support. Thank you. That counts for 3 because it's a $4 membership, but YouTube keeps $1. And I just received a $12 tip from $2. $2 tipped me $12. So thank you for $12 from $2. $2, a frequent supporter of the streams, giving more than $2 with dollars, more dollars than dollars, if that makes sense. Thank you for that. Now we are up to $60 of support. So we are more than a third of the way to our goal. Let's keep that momentum rolling if we can. Let's keep it going. And by the way, Rare Tricks, I did see your email this morning and did not have a chance to fully read or respond to it. So I will take a look at that later today and let you know. I think, remember yesterday, Rare Tricks made the offer to buy me some food off of this website called Gold Belly. Gold Belly is a website that basically has listings of gourmet food from all over the United States, and you order it. It's very expensive. I'm talking like $100+ to order something, but they ship you either frozen versions of this food, which you're supposed to then thaw and eat, or they actually just ship you the ingredients and then you make the food yourself. That I don't understand, because why would you pay $100 to get the ingredients if you have to cook the food yourself? The whole idea is you're buying gourmet food made by gourmet chefs, so why would you make it yourself? But I have no confidence. Like, for example, we were looking at it yesterday on the podcast, and it was Pat's King of Steaks from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. For those who don't know, Philadelphia is known for Philly cheesesteaks, and there's 2 top-of-the-line ones. One's called Pat King of Steaks, and one's called Geno's, and they're right across the street from each other. I did a head-to-head taste test over a decade ago at these places, and I have a video of it online. It's pretty good. But anyway, like they said, oh, we'll freeze the sandwich and send it to you frozen. And so when you get it, you thaw it out, you warm it in your oven, and you pour cheese sauce on it, and that's it. That's not the same. Like that, once you freeze an item like that, it loses flavor. The whole idea of getting Pat's King of Steaks is that you're there in person, they literally cook it in front of you, and you're getting the absolute freshest possible cheesesteak. Why would you pay $100 to get that frozen and mailed to you? And then on top of that, here's the funny part about it, okay? It says, when it's delivered, they can't guarantee that it'll still be frozen. It may actually have thawed in shipping. And if it's thawed in shipping, they recommend you eat it immediately because it will expire within 24 hours of receipt, and then it'll go bad and you'll get sick. It actually said it on the website. I was like, what? So what if there's a shipping delay? Does it show up rancid? Like, this doesn't sound very good to me. So anyway, Rare Tricks, I believe, said, all right, forget about the food, but I think he wants to get me like a dessert. And if that's the case, maybe I would accept that, because maybe that's more stable, like for shipping or something. So I'm going to see, because he sent me an email. I didn't read it yet. So I'm going to see what he said. He just said in chat something about a rum cake. Oh, really? A rum cake. I wonder what that's like. Rum cake. Italian rum cake? Legendary Italian rum cake. Dude, do you know what this is? I gotta show you guys. Do you actually know what this is? Hold on. This thing isn't working anymore. This sucks. This thing is not working. This is my, what do you call it? It's supposed to be a shock absorber for the mic, but it sadly isn't. It doesn't really have any support. Like, it doesn't really tighten properly and hold in place like it's supposed to. Like, I'm tightening it right now. And I'm tightening it as hard as I possibly can. And I let go. And it's... So I don't think this shock absorber works. I've used it for a couple weeks. It seems already busted. This is the shock mount for the microphone. Someone says, why don't you have an actual shock mount for the microphone? This is the actual shock mount for the microphone. This is the one that you can get for it. That's it. So this is, I think it's busted. It doesn't work. Look, it just doesn't tighten anymore. For whatever reason. It's supposed to be like this. You're supposed to be able to tighten it. Here, I'll fuck with it a little bit. I just don't think it tightens right. A piece just fell off and landed on me. A piece of the shock absorber fell off and landed on me. So I think I know why it's not working. It's loose and not tightening properly. I think I can fix it. It's not tightening because this came off. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. See, it won't stay in place. It's popping off. It won't stay in place. It's crappy. Unreal. I see what happened. The piece popped off and it's in the wrong position. But I don't know how to fix it while the mic is dangling from it. Like, it's supposed to be held up like this. And then I'm supposed to screw it in place. But I don't know how I'm going to do it with the mic on it. Like, it seems impossible to do with the mic hanging from it. It seems like it's going to keep twisting itself and not screwing in properly. Because that's what's happening. It's not screwing in properly like it's supposed to here. Oh, wait. I think I might have just done it. No, see, now it turned. Yup. It's a piece of crap. It's a piece of crap and it loosens right there. It's supposed to stay upright, but it turns instead. I know exactly how to do it, but it's not a well-engineered device at all. It's a piece of garbage. It's supposed to stay there in that groove, and it doesn't. There. Okay, now I might be able to do it. Let's see. No, now the whole thing came out. What the fuck? Look at this. The whole thing just came apart. Well, I think I might be getting rid of the shock absorber entirely. It doesn't look like it really works. This is amazing. It would have been nice to end the podcast, but of course then this has to happen. The thing has to fall apart on me, right? Great. It doesn't tighten. No, it's supposed to, and it doesn't tighten. It's fucking broken. It doesn't work. It's a piece of garbage. There's no way to tighten this. Nope. It just dangles now. There's no way to tighten it at all. It's basically, I think it's kind of like a piece of garbage that stripped itself. So now there's no, it won't go into any groove and tighten anymore at all. It's just completely busted. Yeah. So there's no way to get this to stay now. Yeah, it stripped itself, meaning I didn't over torque it or anything. It's just garbage, you know, made in some fucking awful, you know, quality product, awful, you know, low grade metal. So it doesn't, now my microphone's going to dangle, which looks stupid and it isn't going to be functional for me. So I might just have to get rid of it. To be honest, I don't actually think it did anything. Like you guys were saying, like, for example, let me know if you hear this. Did you hear that? Hold on, let me try again. You hear that, right? So it doesn't actually stop it. It doesn't actually do anything. So it does, if it doesn't serve a purpose, I'm just going to get rid of it. And I'm going to maybe put the other thing on it that I had on it previously. So hold on. Now that I understand how these washers work, okay, to tighten properly, I might be able to just use this to extend the length of the mic a little bit and then do it that way. So I'm going to take it off as a piece of junk. It's just dangling now. It's not serving any purpose at all. It's just junk. Oh, wait, I shouldn't even do that. I should unscrew it. So here's what I should do. Trying to get it off the top here. There we go. Piece of garbage. It was only like maybe 15, 20 bucks. So I'm not too upset that it's a piece of garbage that broke. It looked nice on camera, though. I did like how it looked, but if it's junk, it's junk. Let me take it off. Okay. So now I can either just mount this mic directly onto there, or I could do the extender, which makes it actually go a little bit lower. I don't know if I want the extender, though. The extender would give me a little bit more maneuverability, actually, if I used it. All right, hold on. There we go. Like that. Okay. So now this is not on there too tight, but it is secure. And now I got to screw this one on, which means I do have to unplug the mic for a second. Okay. I'm not going to over tighten it. I'm using the washer properly now to make sure that this is not over tightened. As long as the washer can move, it means that this is not overly tight. See? I need the washer to be able to move. There we go. Perfect. So now as the washer's moving, it means I've done it correctly. And I'm not over tightening it to the point where it's going to get stuck. Okay. Should be good. Okay, now let's unplug this and do this. Okay. Let's see how this looks and sounds now. It's squeaky now. It actually squeaks. That's not good. Squeaky. Squeaky but on securely. So, a little higher. There we go. It's a lot more. It actually doesn't dangle as much anymore. If you take a look, it actually isn't dangling like it was with this thing. This thing's just a piece of garbage. Like, people were saying it probably didn't even do anything, right? So it should sound exactly the same. None of the settings have changed. It's just that now I no longer have the, there we go. I no longer have the shock guard thing in place, supposedly. It's not there. But I don't think it actually did anything anyway, right? I don't think the shock guard served any purpose or did anything. No, I didn't install it incorrectly initially. It's just a piece of garbage. This thing actually is junk. Like, it doesn't even hold in place. Like, it's supposed to hold in place and tighten, and it doesn't. It doesn't even hold together. Like, it falls apart. My mic looks naked without it now. Well, that's because you guys are used to seeing it for, a few weeks. Yeah, look, so here it is. It's through. It's lined up. All you're supposed to do is do this to tighten it. Look, it doesn't even do anything. It doesn't tighten it at all. It's supposed to be tightening, and it doesn't tighten. It's completely broken. It's a piece of garbage. There's no, the threads don't catch the screw they have on here. So you just twist endlessly, and it never catches or tightens. It's just complete junk. Yeah. Yeah, just ignore the fact that it's scratched. I don't really care that it's scratched up. It doesn't matter. It works nicely. That's what I care about, is that it works nicely and sounds good. I don't care that it's scratched. It's not a big deal to me. And so it shouldn't be a big deal to you. As long as this is loose, and it is. I could turn this like that and tighten it, and we're good. There you go. So I'm just going to throw this out because it's a piece of garbage. Like, here, this should screw in here. Well, it does. It actually does. It screws into the other side. The problem is it doesn't reach the other side. So it actually does work, but they mismanufactured it so that when you put it where it's supposed to be, and you get this in between and you go to screw it, it doesn't work. That is just crappy, man. Look, it's through, and it's completely lined up, and I'm screwing it, and it doesn't work. Basically, it's not long enough. They made it so that the bolt isn't long enough to go through and actually catch the other side and tighten properly. So it is mismanufactured. Like, the bolt, they should actually made this longer so it would go through and catch and tighten. And it does it. It's not long enough. Look, that's the maximum. Look, it can't even go anymore. It's trash. It is a design flaw. But I mean, how many people are realistically probably buying this? Like, a few. I'm probably one of the few people who tried to get it. So, by the way, we're going to test this. Ready? That's exactly what it sounded like anyway with this on. I don't think this actually served any purpose or did anything for us. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get rid of this. That's great that it broke out live on stream, huh? There you go. So this is how it'll look like from now on. And, I'll try to position it nicely. Anyway, I was going to look at the rum cake when that happened. So just to show you guys what we were looking at. Okay. This is an Italian rum cake. Okay. This is what Rare Trick says they wants to send me. So an Italian rum cake is a sponge cake with alternating layers of pudding, vanilla and chocolate pudding, but it's Italian style pudding, and they soak the cake in rum. Okay, this is an authentic Italian thing. So the local restaurant that I used to go to, that was not restaurant, excuse me, the local bakery I used to go to, it was called Luigi's Authentic Italian Bakery in Connecticut. They went out of business, but they would have this with alternating layers of fruit. So you'd have one layer that's fresh bananas chopped in there, and then you'd have a layer that's strawberries in like a strawberry preserves. So you'd have a layer of fruit in between there as well, and they actually called that traditional Italian birthday cake. That it would be the rum cake with fruit layers in there as well. The thing is, you have to eat it fast because you have rum, it's soaked in rum. So if you don't eat it within like a week, the thing disintegrates and becomes disgusting. Yeah, see, it lasts only 5 days in the fridge. You have to eat it within like 5 days because it's wet. It's a wet cake. So I can confirm this is absolutely authentic. But the catch here, it's only 7 inches in diameter. 7 inches. Do you know how small that is? 7 inches? It looks huge here, but it's actually very small. 7 inches is only like that. So it's going to be like a small cake like this, like little pieces. And by the way, how much does it cost? $89.95. $89.95. You used to be able to get the gigantic Italian birthday cake for around $50. This one is tiny and doesn't have the fruit in it. Oh, by the way, traditional Italian cake like this also has on the edges, they would coat it with sugar or a frosting, and then on the edge would either have chopped nuts like almonds, or they would do shots, like colored shots or chocolate shots. So they would actually cover the edge of the cake with nuts or shots to give it like an added texture on the edge of your piece of cake. So, yeah. So, basically, this is a miniature half-C version of the cake I used to get when I was a kid. It's still authentic. Like this would be just the rum. This is not the birthday because the birthday includes the fruit, the shots, the decorations. This doesn't have that, but it's a miniature version of what I ate as a kid. Oh, and this is very smart. It ships with dry ice. That's excellent. That's a very good thing. So that way it does not fall apart in transit. That's good. Okay. The cake only lasts at room temperature for 3 hours. That's right, because then it disintegrates because it's made of pudding. Like I said, that's pudding. This pudding will melt if you don't have it cold. So you need to have it refrigerated. Yeah, when it says serves 8 people, that's if you're doing the most dainty, tiny slice you've ever seen. Just like you ever seen serving sizes on modern food? They say, oh, this one frozen meal serves 3. Like, wait, what? No, it doesn't. It's a single serve meal. No, it serves 3. Oh, sure it does. Okay. Well, Rare Tricks has offered to purchase me this cake, and I would eat this cake on stream. Just happened. Are you kidding me? What is going on with my mouse? My mouse has malfunctioned. I'm not kidding. I think my PC just froze. I think my gaming PC has frozen. What just happened? What just happened? What is going on with technology? I can't take it. I cannot take it. Everything is falling apart. This breaks live on stream. My lighting goes off live on stream. My gaming PC crashes and reboots. Like, what is happening? Two days in a row. 2 days in a row. I can't take. I think we need to go play some Dark Souls. Right? Right? I think we need some Dark Souls. I can't take it. I can't take it, guys. FYI, my CPU is at 3%, memory only 7 gigs out of 31. Both of my disks are fine, and my GPU is at 0%. So I have absolutely no clue why that just happened on my gaming PC. All right. Anyway, I think it's time to end the show. Seriously, this is ridiculous. I've had enough. That's correct. More donations probably would make everything work better. So if you contributed to today's stream, I'd probably forget about this breaking live on stream. I'd forget about my wireless. In fact, you know, this looks delicious. This looks like a delicious donut. I'm just going to buy it. Yummy. This looks great. How much RAM in the gaming rig? 32 gigs of RAM in the gaming rig. Yeah, the shock mount's bust. It broke live on stream, so I'm not going to use it anymore. It didn't do anything anyway. The shock mount literally served no purpose. It didn't do anything. It didn't improve this. It sounded exactly the same on and off. It didn't improve the shock situation. So, all right, guys, it is time to end the podcast and get ready for Dark Souls. All right, I've had enough. I want to play some games now. I can't take it. So thank you for yet another disaster stream. I hope that you guys enjoy. And hopefully, you know, this is not an ongoing thing, and these situations will resolve themselves, or we'll find a solution. The wireless seems to be just me messing with the adapters. The USB, at least the camera has worked the entire podcast without turning off. That's a good sign. I guess it's just a matter of messing around with stuff, right? So thank you for watching the Level 1 podcast. Tomorrow, there will be a show. Reminder, there is a podcast tomorrow. Smart Guys is now moving to the late stream. So you can actually check out the podcast in the morning and check out Smart Guys, at night over on DSP Reacts if you're interested. All right, guys? Thank you. See you tomorrow.